I'm Anna, Gen Z, and you're watching Generational Geeks. Today, it's just me. You may have noticed the absence of the father, but I'm going to be talking about a few cosplay things that he's not exactly interested in, so I figured may as well do it by myself. First of all, I'd really like to talk about the making of some of my cosplay stuff, such as the mask. The mask is from a game called Sallyface, and it's a point-and-click horror game, mainly on Steam. It's about a boy who was in a terrible accident when he was really young, and you start to uncover all sorts of mysteries that all tie back into the incident. But the main making of cosplay I wanted to talk about was my Maya Borderlands 3 cosplay, which I am still currently working on. A few of you may know a term called cell shading, but for those of you who don't, it's where you take a 3D object. This is kind of a bad example, but it pretty much gets the job done. You take a 3D object and you add lines and details to it to make it look cartoony or 2D. Now, what Borderlands does with this is they're already drawing everything. It's not really rendering anything on a computer in a 3D way. It's still drawing, but they still use the illusion of cell shading so that they can get a really stylized game out. And I think that's probably one of my favorite game styles. It's very unique to that game in particular, and other companies such as Telltale Games or Skybound Entertainment have kind of picked it up. I'm not sure if Telltale was using it before Borderlands, but I know that they now use it in games such as The Walking Dead, which we will get to soon enough after we talk about the Maya cosplay. My mom is sewing the bodysuit with the arm and everything. We're starting from scratch. And this is something we're not really used to, so it's probably going to be a bumpy thing to document because we've never just started from scratch before, other than a Toga cosplay. For some reason, I thought that wasn't her name. She is from a series called Boku no Hero Academia, which a lot of people know that one. It's an anime about teenagers with special abilities, and we all know one of the best villains is Toga. You can't call me out on this. Some people think she's overrated, but I just think she's really cute, and she was really enjoyable to cosplay. She has a simple outfit, which consists of a pleated schoolgirl skirt, knee-high socks, penny loafers, I think they're called, a brown, yellowy cardigan, and then, of course, just normal dress shirt underneath it. She was a hit at the con we went to. I got asked quite a lot to pose for a picture, and I even got to be in someone's video, which I messed up because I was posing and I didn't know when they were going to stop, and I moved, which we all make mistakes. It was my first time being in a con video. I was nervous and excited. But back to Maya. I keep getting distracted. She is a very, what's the word? Fancy? Not fancy.
Sophisticated?
No,
oh.
That's not what I'm looking. Dang, what's the word?
Not fancy or sophisticated.
Complicated. You better keep that part in. She's a very complicated outfit to do because we have all these different patterns, and especially her cape is going to be hard to make, but her bodysuit is just, normal swimsuit looking thing with one sleeve and then a small keyhole detail. But it also has strange patterns on the sides that consist of mainly whites and blacks. And she has armor on the sleeve, which I think we're going to be able to pull off, but who knows? I'm not from the future. And then for gloves, I'm going to paint them just like I'm going to paint the bodysuit, which is going to mainly be whites and grays, and if I make a mistake, black. I just really want the cartoony look. I've done looks like this before with Clementine from the Walking Dead game series. She was fun to do. We didn't have to make any of her stuff from scrap. I'm still actually procrastinating on her because I need to paint the pants and the boots, which that'll be pretty easy. But all I really need to do is remember to only paint where folds go, because I have a habit of going a bit crazy when it comes to cell shading. I like to just do it everywhere just because I think it makes it look really, really cool and detailed. For Clementine, all we had to buy was a yellowish Henley shirt, and then a gray zip-up jacket and a darker blue jean jacket. And then I took Sharpie and acrylic paints and I painted both of those. And what I used for that was just normal black and white acrylic paint. We mainly used the white for highlights in the clothing, which a lot of people don't realize that when you do cell shading, you need to also do highlights. You can't just make a solid black line and then leave it. It has to have some detail and some depth to it. Like with this, I didn't do any highlighting, obviously, because the mask is mainly white, but I did manage to mess up in a few places, and something that really helped me with that was actually a white paint pen. And I think when I do Maya, that's going to be an extremely helpful tool to use, because using paintbrushes on clothing, if any of you have ever done that, that is extremely hard. You can mess up easily, it can start to bleed in weird places, you're just not sure if the paint is going to behave or not. So I feel like using a handheld tool that you can really, I guess, get close to the material with is going to be a big help. Sharpies are a must, obviously, because there's not much you can do with cell shading without them. Doing it with a paintbrush probably wouldn't work, just because that's going to be a lot of area to cover, and it's going to be a lot more time consuming. Plus, everyone has Sharpies on hand. Everyone. Even non-artists. You'll just find random Sharpies in your household. Maya's bodysuit in the third game, I keep saying is mainly gray. So I think what I'm going to do for that is use a washable lighter colored marker and mark out where I want the cell shading to be to make sure that I don't go crazy. And then I will go over it with the Sharpie and clean up the spots that I think I don't need where the washable marker went. I think that would probably be the best thing to do. It's not going to be super hard to paint hers. It's just the sewing that's going to take the most time, and I think my mother, somewhere out there, is going to document the progression of the sewing. We have a Facebook page, and I think she said that she was going to post some stuff on there, and we might make a few videos about the sewing. There goes my mush mouth. I think we decided that I'm going to paint it on camera with time lapses in between when I don't talk. So a lot of this information that you're receiving, you're going to actually be able to see once the bodysuit is done being sewn. For many reasons, I'm very excited about Maya. She's going to be very fun to cosplay. And I did a makeup test with her. It looks pretty good, just to be a bit humble. She'll definitely be great to cosplay, and I really hope it turns out great because, dang, Emerald City Comic Con, that's a big one. That's bigger than Dragon Con, and that had like an 80,000 attendance. So I'm pretty excited. But for now, that's all the time we have and all the time we need. I'm Gen Z, Anna from Generational Geeks, signing off. In the video, sir.